At Texas State and 36 other state universities, diversity offices are now against the law.
But a local music festival is all about diversity. We have your ticket to Pride Fest.
That's the sound of Texas students at a large protest. We'll show you why they were out there.
Earth Day happens every April. We have a report on what some students and other San Martians did to honor it this year.
And if you're like us, you love telling stories with video. Bobcats are about to have a whole new way to do that. Hi, and thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle Moreno, and welcome to Bobcat Update.
I'm Chelsea Flannel. Thanks for joining us.
Texas is home to 36 public state universities, including Texas State. Many of them had offices dedicated to helping students from diverse backgrounds.
But those DEI offices for diversity, equity, and inclusion are now against state law. I talked with some people affected by this change. On the second floor of the LBJ Student Center nestles the Shirley Harris Student Lounge. But just a semester ago, it used to be the Office of Inclusive Excellence, an office that focused on serving Texas State's diverse student body. Senate Bill 17 was signed into law in 2023 by Governor Greg Abbott, preventing universities from engaging in diversity, equity, and inclusion activities, such as Texas State's Division of Inclusive Excellence Office, which was dissolved as of August last year. We spoke to students for their thoughts on these changes at Texas State.
Certain groups don't feel that there's a place to represent them or to hold their voice, and so this is the perfect office or higher up to be able to assist these people. And the fact that it's taken away, it's basically like not helping marginalized groups even more.
Inclusivity is very important, diversity is very important, so keeping that away from campuses I feel like is a bad idea.
While faculty of the Inclusive Excellence Division have been transitioned into other roles on campus, the University of Texas recently laid off nearly 60 faculty members working in DEI roles.
To have 50 jobs just like that gone, 50 jobs that were good for not just the Austin community, but any community that those impacts are had, which is, we feel it here on Texas State campus.
For us to be in 2024 and not continue to help diversity, but try to stifle it like it doesn't exist, acting like it doesn't exist doesn't do anything. It just makes the issue even worse.
Texas State has expressed confidence in their ability to maintain and improve student success through their Division of Student Success, where some of the Inclusive Excellence staff have been reassigned.
Thousands of students across the country took part in protests starting last week over the conflict between Israel and Hamas. More than 11 people were killed in Israel October 7th in the surprise attack by Hamas, but more than 30,000 Palestinians have been killed in Israel's military action in Gaza, according to the Associated Press. That's the motivation behind this. It's called the Sit-In for Palestine and was held at the Fighting Stallions free speech area here on campus. It was scheduled from noon to 7 p.m. on the last day of classes, Monday, April 29th. Hundreds of students showed up over the course of the day. It was organized by the Palestine Solidarity Committee at Texas State, and organizers emphasized that it was intended as a peaceful demonstration.
I'm on campus where Texas State students and the community have come together to show their support in the Palestine-Israel conflict. Come with me as we learn what brings everyone together and why they think it's important to show up for the cause. On Monday, April 29th, many people on campus crowded around the statue of the Fighting Stallions in support of Palestine, with calls for peace and a ceasefire being chanted.
From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! From the sea to the river! From the sea to the river! Palestine will live forever! Palestine will live forever!
Texas State students weren't alone at this protest. Alumni, like Julia Maldonado, showed up to show their support.
I think it's really important that the students know that everyone in the community supports them, and not even just like the San Marcos community, the alumni, the people who live here, and they get support all over the country as well. Columbia, UT, we're seeing it all over the state, all over the country.
While there was huge support for Palestine, they weren't the only ones advocating for their beliefs. A group of students stood opposite the pro-Palestine protest holding an Israeli flag. They denied a pro-Israel stance. However, they did confirm that they stood with Israel in the conflict. They declined to comment further. Some students felt proud of the outpouring of support for Palestine, like Texas State student Nusha Salika.
I don't want to have guilt in 10, 20 years, looking back and knowing that there was something so close to me within driving range and I didn't do as much as I could to help out. I truly feel integrated when I see stuff like this. It makes me actually be proud to be American.
For Bobcat Update, this has been Juan Ibarra.
That wasn't the case at the University of Texas at Austin last week. Hundreds of students were there, took part in a campus protest on April 24th. They were met with a large police presence, including officers from the university, the city of Austin, and Texas State troopers. Protesters were there, corralled and moved off a large grassy area on the south end of campus and moved toward a street, which led to a number of confrontations. CBS News reports that 57 people were arrested at UT last week. There's a change in the law in San Marcos that could help some people not get arrested, not even ticketed.
That's right. Getting caught by the city of San Marcos police in possession of a small amount of marijuana won't get you busted. Reporter Jade Jacobo and videographer Ezekiel Ramirez show us how that may have lit a fire under this year's 420 celebrations.
Hi Bobcats. 420 has come and blown us all away. Let's take a trip to find out what the holiday means to local San Martians.
My friends came over and we smoked and ate and we literally just watched Superstore.
I spoke with Texas State student Alejandra Olvera to see what 420 means to her.
To me, it's like a celebration, like you gather together with your friends and like have a good time and light it up.
420 is a day to relax and puff pass. Endo Smoke Shop cashier Luke Vondelberg shares how the holiday impacted business.
For smoke shops, it's really cool how many sales they had. I was here and I was selling people pieces and we were having a ball. It was a good time. I like it a lot.
In 2022, dedicated voters and petitioners worked together to decriminalize marijuana in the area. However, not many people are aware that the Texas Attorney General is currently suing the city of San Marcos to overturn this decision. I spoke more with Luke Vondelberg to see what kind of effect they think this will have on the San Marcos community.
I did not know about that. That would be terrible. If it reverses, it's kind of just like shooting themselves in the foot.
Texas State student Octavio Benavides believes recriminalizing marijuana would create more problems than solutions.
I think it leads to a lot of innocent people being sent to prison for like their entire lives over something that just really isn't worth that sentence.
Remember, Bobcats, to toke is no joke. Make sure you're staying safe and getting your stash from a reliable source. To stay up to date about the current lawsuit against the city, you can visit the Texas Attorney General's website. For Bobcat Update, I'm Jade Jacobo.
Also, in April, Texas State swore in our new student leaders. Student Body President Olivia Alexander and Vice President Donovan Brown were sworn in on April 16th, right in front of the LBJ statue. President Kelly Damphis and other university leaders were there, along with outgoing Student Body President Kirsten Florence and Vice President Shaylin James. People were out and about on campus and around town for another reason.
Right, Earth Day, which happened last weekend. Jack Lieber and Caden Carpenter caught up with some folks who took part in this year's activities.
What's up, cats? It's Caden Carpenter here at the Spring Lake Meadow Center celebrating their annual Earth Day Festival. Come join us with me and my friend Jack Lieber.
The annual Earth Day Festival in San Marcos was held on Saturday, April 20th, just a couple days before Earth Day. The festival offered boat tours featuring the beautiful views of Spring Lake and many different vendors ranging from volunteer and student organization sign-up tents to informational pop-ups featuring local sustainability efforts and even tents featuring unique activities and merchandise. We eventually found that they also offered food as well as activities for children and families like many playgrounds, a petting zoo, and live music. We ran into a festival worker. His name was Joshua Neves, and he shared with us a bit about the Earth Day Festival's history and what he thinks of Earth Day.
It's definitely gotten bigger. We've had more vendors, a higher turnout. People love to come and visit Spring Lake and take our glass bottom boat tours, especially whenever we offer deals like today. Earth Day is about being connected to the earth, and to me it's a day of celebration for what we live on. This big rock that we're on top of is one of the best things that's ever happened to us, in my opinion. And I think that every human should see it like that, and I think every day should be Earth Day.
Everyone participating in the Earth Day Festival was eager to express their love for the world and inform us of different ways to get involved. Like Alicia Rosas, a Texas State grad student who we met at the Healthy Cats organization booth.
Earth Day to me really means doing everything that we can to give back to the environment because it has given so much to us, but also making sure that we are personally practicing things that are sustainable, as well as making sure that we have policies in place that ensure that the environment continues to be healthy and sustainable throughout our lifetime and the lifetime for generations to come.
All in all, the San Marcos Earth Day Festival was quite entertaining while also offering fun and sustainable opportunities for the whole family. If you want to participate or volunteer for next year's San Marcos Earth Day Festival, go to their website at meadowcenter.txst.edu to learn more. For the Bobcat Update, this is Caden Carpenter.
It's not unusual to hear country music in the square, but there was something unique about the latest country music festival in the square.
The Outlaw Pride Festival celebrates queer artists and small businesses. It returned to San Marcos for the second time. Reporter Rames Cantu has your ticket.
From the weekend of April 19th to the 21st, the Outlaw Pride Festival came to San Marcos with all its rhinestones and sweetness. From music performances from queer country artists to drag performers, and also vendors selling their merchandise. You can expect that some of your funds will go back to Texas State University in the form of the Bobcat Pride Scholarship, which the Outlaw Pride Festival happily funds.
I was able to talk to Julie Nolan, the brilliant mind behind the Outlaw Pride Festival.
Outlaw Pride is my baby. Basically, I'm a queer country musician myself, and sing in Texas country and stuff a lot. There's a lot of like the music of outlaws or whatever, where guys are talking about drinking whiskey and being in the truck and dating chicks and whatever. And it's kind of time to see other people other than straight white dudes just talking about that. I'd love to see trans women and people of color and all sorts of different diversity in country music.
I was also able to talk to Heather Aidala, who is the executive director for the Bobcat Pride Scholarship Fund.
So BPSF is a 501c3 nonprofit. We've been serving the LGBTQIA+ community in San Marcos and Hayes County for 14 years. Our main source of support is the Jeremy O. Torres Emergency Stabilization Fund. And what that means is anybody who's 18 to 25 who identifies as queer and lives in San Marcos or Hayes County and is going through a financial hardship.
Zelix hosted a songwriter showcase featuring multiple queer country artists.
Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Rames Cantu with Bobcat Update.
Chelsea, do you like being an anchor?
I do, but sometimes I like being behind the camera too. Why do you ask?
Because a new course is coming this fall that'll offer students like us a very cool new option.
Hey Texas State students, are you looking for an opportunity to take your skills to the next level? Stay tuned to find out if this applies to your major.
An old way of gaming got a lot more popular during the pandemic. So popular, there's a new store opening in San Marcos just for that.
The NCAA transfer portal recently opened again. We asked some Bobcats what they thought of the whole idea of the portal.
And the last Bobcat Day of the year just rolled through campus. News anchors Caleb Tiemann and Jillian Sadoff will show you what you missed about Bobcat Day and more after this break.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know. It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
Hi, and welcome back to Bobcat Update. I'm Jillian Satoff.
And I'm Caleb Tiemann. If you love to tell stories with video, like we do, there's a cool new option coming to Texas State.
It's a new capstone video production class for electronic media students. Hobbs Villalba and I talked with folks who put it together. Hey Bobcats, if you're in the School of Mass Communication and Journalism, listen up. We've got some exciting news for you.
For mass communication students, the electronic media major has gotten pretty popular. Until now, television news has been the major's only capstone class. We spoke with the SJMC's Associate Director, Harry Bowers, to learn more.
So we've historically only had one capstone for electronic media students. It was television news. What we've realized over time is many of our students don't plan to work in news whatsoever. So the goal of this is to provide opportunity and more flexibility in the curriculum. It takes it just not only from a realm of news or television news, but really the gamut of really video as a broad context.
The course will cover a range of topics from advanced camera techniques to post-production editing and digital storytelling strategies. We talked to Professor Kelly Koffold, who is the one that proposed this course in the first place.
We're going to expose students in this class to some things they have not had yet in electronic media. So for example, commercial production, short form video telling. We're going to do a lot more social media videos in this class, and a documentary or a longer form video class that's shot out in the field. All of those things are things students are interested in and in some cases doing, but we haven't offered them in an organized class until now. Especially because video production is so prominent now, especially on social media and marketing, and those skills are essential. It's also going to open the door in television news for some journalism students who might want to work in TV news to have that as a capstone option, and that's another change we're offering. Just remember, 4348 visual production capstone. You may have to ask for it, but it's available now to register.
We're joined by Kai Woods, who has some real expertise on our next story.
She's actually an ambassador for the university's Bobcat Days. Kai, welcome.
Thanks, Caleb and Julianne. Bobcat Day happens 4 times a year. It's a campus-wide event for prospective students to check out just about everything on campus. Every major, student housing, even food options. And even Live Oak Hall, where we're recording Bobcat Update right now. Reporter Daniel Robledo and I spent Saturday morning with thousands of visitors learning all about Texas State.
We're here at the LBJ Student Center at the last Bobcat Day of the semester, where potential Bobcats get to tour the university and learn more about Texas State.
Enrollment at Texas State University is on the rise, with an impressive surge in freshman enrollment by 59% since spring 2023. Incoming freshman Josiah Durham shares why he came to Bobcat Day.
I came to Bobcat Day because I wanted to see what the campus looked like. I wanted to see all the different types of activities they had, and I wanted to know what I was getting into before I came. Because now I get to see like all the cool things that are happening here, so I get a taste of like what's really going on.
The university hosts Bobcat Days twice a semester, led by the Texas State University ambassadors and tour guides. At Bobcat Days, potential Bobcats get to have a self-guided day on campus and see all the university has to offer. Program Director David Thomas shares how this event showcases the Bobcat experience.
I think it's a great opportunity for students to be able to really experience what life is like as a Bobcat. You get to be around all these amazing different people who are also interested in Texas State. You get to hear from different academic departments, admissions, housing. Really just gives you the opportunity to get all your questions answered and really see campus and know what life is going to be like as a Bobcat. Historically, if you look at the numbers over the last couple of years, you see that Bobcat Day registrants and attendees has gone up as well too, and I think that aligns with the enrollment numbers that the university has seen.
For Bobcat Update, I'm Daniel Robledo.
As you can see, there's a lot happening on Bobcat Days. Hey, did either of you attend one before you got here?
Unfortunately, I couldn't.
Actually, yes, I did. How about you?
Unfortunately, I didn't either, but I highly recommend it for anyone that's interested in the university.
What a great program for students and their families. Thanks, Kai.
There's another path for somebody to find their way to our campus, especially for student athletes. It's the transfer portal. Reporter Jamie Gammon and videographer Ryan Rodriguez caught up with some Bobcats to ask them what they think about this evolving team-building tool.
Today we're outside of Bobcat Stadium as the highly anticipated transfer portal opened its doors, and what that means for Texas State football.
College football players will get another chance to enter the NCAA transfer portal these next 2 weeks, just in time to get teams all set for the upcoming season. The NCAA Transfer Portal is an online database meant to streamline the first steps of an athlete's transfer process. Sports' news professor Larry Carlson discussed the challenges the portal brings for the Bobcats.
It's going to be a challenge for teams like Texas State because, kind of mid-level, you're going to benefit some, but you're going to lose some.
Texas State currently has 18 incoming transfers and 19 outgoing transfers, most recent being linebacker Dan Foster, who is committed to the Louisville Cardinals. The Bobcats were able to secure the reigning Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year, Jordan McLeod, who committed to Texas State back in February 2024. The transfer portal promises to bring a wave of talent to Bobcat Stadium. Fans can expect an exciting season ahead as these new recruits join forces with returning players to chase victory. The spring transfer portal window closes April 30th. Graduate transfers have until May 1st. I'm Jamie Gammon with Bobcat Update.
Did you know that dragons have been seen around San Marcos?
Oh.
In fact, videographer Sergio Guzman and I ran into some inside Alkek Library. I'm talking about tabletop role-playing games, and they're enjoying a pretty robust following these days.
Tabletop role-playing games, or TTRPGs, are quickly rising as one of America's favorite pastimes. From the subtly popular Warhammer 40,000 to the media omnipresent Dungeons and Dragons, tabletop gaming went through struggles during the COVID-19 pandemic, as meeting face-to-face became almost impossible. En masse, TTRPGs persevered through this and has even found its niche here at Texas State. This is Luna McAllister, the event coordinator for the D&D Guild here at Texas State, who shared with us her experiences playing Dungeons and Dragons through COVID-19.
We mostly played online. It was all right. We definitely did a lot more sort of theater of the mind style play without like the use of an online tabletop. We just sort of used a voice call, a conference call. I definitely prefer actual physical tabletop play rather than online. Like I prefer using a physical battle map rather than trying to do stuff online.
COVID was rough, but the TTRPG scene is bouncing back rigorously. Alkek Library isn't the only place you can find adventure, and that's why we're outside the new
Dragon's Lair is coming to San Marcos. Now, Dragon's Lair is the first tabletop-focused game store in the San Marcos area, and we got an exclusive interview with the owner.
This is Steve Wallace, the owner, describing his experience during COVID and why he wanted to open a new store.
We played a little bit online. We didn't do too many of the actual board gaming platforms like tabletop. We would play games where we were able to meet by Zoom or GoToMeeting, and we would both have copies of the game and kind of make the moves for our opponents on our own copy of the board game, back and forth like that. Well, I retired from the post office in 2020. For a couple of years, I laid around doing nothing, kind of thinking about what obviously it was 2020. We kind of all laid around doing nothing. But I played a lot of games, and one day, it was very serendipitous. I was looking for a board game online, and I came across a banner on Dragon's Lair that said, "Be a franchiser." And while looking for a board game and another job to do, those two things kind of meshed together.
So whether you'd like to learn, just started, or are a battle-hardened game master, tabletop gaming has a place for you, right here in San Marcos. For the Bobcat Update, I'm Caleb Tiemann.
Thanks so much for joining us on this edition of the Bobcat Update.
This is our final edition of the spring semester. In fact, a bunch of us are graduating.
But keep an eye out for more student news this summer and fall.